Just to add to the excitement at this point, we are pleased to announce that this is now being sponsored by the Data Protection World Forum and their last Thursday in Privacy event. Because of that, the first people to comment with their favourite question down below and like this video before midday on Monday the 27th of April will be entered into a prize draw to win a hamper worth £200 courtesy of the Data Protection World Data Protection Forum. So good luck and I hope you enjoy the quiz. Thanks very much. Welcome to a very special edition of iSTORM, the GDPR and Data Protection Diaries. As you can tell by the high level of production quality on the wall behind me, this is not just going to be any normal episode on the channel. Today we are doing the first ever big data protection quiz. Everyone seems to be doing quizzes at the minute, nobody can go outside, so we thought, why not do a data protection related one? So that is what we are going to do today. The format is very simple. There are 15 questions in all, 18 points to get because there are some extra points on some of the questions. The answers will be given at the end of this video. There is absolutely no prize for winners, losers, fastest, slowest, or anything else. This is literally just for fun and to test your knowledge of data protection over the years. To make the most of it, please try not to Google the answers where possible. A couple of the answers, they may be trick questions, maybe trick questions for the answers, sorry, and in a couple of instances you may just need to make an educated guess, but we'll explain that as we go through. As always, if you like this content, please do give us a thumbs up, give us a like, give us a share, and make sure that you comment down below. Let us know how many you got right. Let us know what question you found the trickiest, and also let us know if you'd like us to do a different quiz, so like a cybersecurity quiz or a European data protection law quiz, and we can look to do something like that as well. But for now, let's just get on with the quiz and let's get going. So question number 1. What does GDPR stand for? So question number 1, what does GDPR stand for? Question number 2, in what year was the original Data Protection Act released? So in what year was the original Data Protection Act released? How many principles were in the original Data Protection Act? How many principles were there in the original UK Data Protection Act? Question number 4. On what date did the EU Data Protection Directive come into force? So on what date did the EU Data Protection Directive come into force? Question 5. What are the 6 principles as listed in the GDPR? So what are the 6 principles as listed in the GDPR? Question number 6. What does the acronym PECR stand for? So what does the acronym PECR stand for? Question number 7. Article 8 of the UK Human Rights Act relates to which right? So Article 8 of the UK Human Rights Act relates to which right? Question number 8. who was the UK Information Commissioner between June 2009 and June 2016? So question number 8, who was the UK Information Commissioner between June 2009 and June 2016? Question number 9. How many data protection related concerns were reported to the Information Commissioner's Office in the year 2016 to 2017? So how many data protection related concerns were reported to the Information Commissioner's Office in the year 2016-2017? Now for this one, I will give you a point if you can get within 10. And if you get it absolutely spot on, I'll give you a bonus point. So give yourself 2 points if you get it absolutely spot on. You may need to go and do some research on that one. Question number 10. How many days do you have to respond to a data subject access request? Question number 10. How many days do you have to respond to a data subject access request? Question number 11. How many recitals are there within the GDPR? So question number 11, how many recitals are there within the GDPR? Question number 12, which government body has overall responsibility for the Information Commissioner's Office? So question number 12, which government body has overall responsibility for the Information Commissioner's Office? Question number 13. How many rights does an individual have under the GDPR? So how many rights does an individual or a data subject have under the GDPR? Question number 14. What are the 4 enforcement powers available to the ICO under the Data Protection Act 2018? So what are the 4 enforcement powers available to the ICO under the Data Protection Act 2018? And finally, question 15. How many hours does a data controller have to report a suspected breach to the ICO? So how many hours does a data controller have to report a suspected breach to the ICO? Now you may want to pause the video while you give yourself a chance to go and give yourself some scores, give yourself some marks on these. As I say, there is a couple of trick questions in there, and 1 or 2 of the questions you may need to go off and do a little bit of research, but it's best if you can possibly avoid it, and just to make it more fun, see what you can do without looking on Google. Once you've done that, come back here, restart this video, and in about 2 seconds, we'll now give you the answers. Let's go. Okay, so you should now be ready for the answers. Hopefully you've scored all of your sheets. So here we go. So question number 1, what does the GDPR stand for? It's nice and easy. Obviously the General Data Protection Regulation, so give yourself 1 point for that one. Question number 2, what year was the original Data Protection Act? And that was 1984. Question number 3, how many principles were there in the original Data Protection Act, and there were, of course, 8 principles in the original Data Protection Act and in the 1998 Act. Question number 4. On what date did the EU Data Protection Directive come into force? That was the 13th of December 1995. Question number 5. What are the 6 data protection principles as listed in the GDPR? Now, you only get a full point if you get all 6 of them right. If you get 3 of them right, you can give yourself half a point. If you've got any less than that, then you don't deserve any points at all. So what are the 6 principles as listed under the GDPR? Well, they are lawfulness, fairness and transparency, purpose limitation, data minimization, accuracy, storage limitation, and integrity and confidentiality. We'll also take security for the last one. But any variation of those, give yourself a point if you got all of those correct. Question number 6. What does the acronym PECR stand for? That is the Privacy and Electronic Communications Regulations, which of course relates to things like electronic marketing and online and social media marketing activities as well. Question number 7. Article 8 of the UK Human Rights Act relates to which right? And that is of course the right to privacy or the right to private and family life. I'll take either of those. If you got those, give yourself a point. Question number 8. Who was the Information Commissioner between June 2009 and June 2016? Those of you who were doing this long before the GDPR came into force will of course remember that it was Christopher Graham. So Christopher Graham served 2 terms as the Information Commissioner, which is the maximum period of time that a commissioner can serve under the current rules. Question number 9. How many data protection related concerns were raised with the Information Commissioner's Office in the year 2016 to 2017? Now, you will have had to go and find the Information Commissioner's report for that year, which is on their website, and you would see that it's 18,300 concerns. If you got it exactly right, give yourself 2 points. If you got within 10 either side, I'd say give yourself a point. Anything other than that, you probably don't deserve one. Question number 10. How many days do you have to respond to a data subject access request? That is of course a trick question because you actually have 1 month in which to respond to a request. So the number of days can vary depending on the number of days in the month. So it is a bit of a trick question, but the answer is 1 month. Question number 11. How many recitals are there within the GDPR? There is 173 recitals within the GDPR. If you manage to get that right without having to pull up the regulation itself, then give yourself an extra bonus point. But if you had to pull up the regulation to find the answer, you can still give yourself a point. I don't really mind. And question number 12. What is the government body that has overall responsibility for the ICO? And that is the DCMS, which is the Department for Culture, Media and Sport. So if you've got the full name, then give yourselves 2 points. And if you only got the acronyms, if you only got DCMS, just give yourself a point because we'll take that as well. Question 13. How many rights does a data subject have under the GDPR? There are 8 rights that an individual has under the GDPR. If you can list all of those rights without going and have a look on the regulation, then give yourself an extra point as well. And obviously those 8 rights are the right to be informed, right of access, right to rectification, right to be forgotten, right to restriction of processing, right to data portability, right to object, and the right to object to automated decision making. So if you've got 8 and you manage to list all 8, then give yourself 2 points. If you just got 8, then just give yourself 1 point for that one. Question 14. What are the 4 enforcement powers held by the ICO under the Data Protection Act 2018? Now, some of you would have realised that we're only talking about the Data Protection Act, so fines come under the GDPR. This is more specific to the Data Protection Act, and those 4 enforcement powers are: number 1, information notices; number 2, assessment notices; number 3, enforcement notices; and finally, number 4, penalty notices. And finally, question 15, how many hours does a data controller have to report a suspected breach to the ICO? Of course, it's only if it's a breach that's likely to have a significant impact on the rights or freedoms of an individual, but the answer is, of course, 72 hours. That is it. That is the quiz for today. If you did enjoy this, please do give us a like, give us a thumbs up. Make sure that you comment down below. Let us know if you thought the questions were too easy, too hard. Let us know what your score was. And if you'd like us to do a quiz on a different subject or a different topic, cybersecurity, information security, then let us know and we'll try and put something together. But thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you all again soon. Cheers. Bye.